It's 4:59 a.m. Your alarm is about to go off. You're still half asleep, your body is heavy, your brain is foggy. But you've read the headlines. You've seen the gurus. They say this is the secret to success. This is how the elite live. This is how billionaires are made. You think you're taking control, but something else is happening. Tick. Tock. Tick. Tock. Because what if I told you that your 5 a.m. wake-up isn't building you, it's breaking you? Your body is fighting back. Silently. Slowly. And when it finally gives out, you won't trace it back to your perfect little morning routine. But we will. Welcome to Wellness in the Shadows. And today, we're exposing the 5 silent killers that come with waking up at 5 a.m. Sleep is not a badge of weakness. And waking early isn't a trophy. In fact, it may be the very reason you're anxious, exhausted, emotionally numb, and slowly unraveling. Let's begin. Sleep is a biological necessity, not a luxury. The culture of rise and grind has convinced millions that sleep is for the weak, but science says otherwise. When you consistently wake up at 5 a.m. without sleeping early enough, you accumulate what experts call sleep debt. Unlike money, this debt isn't easy to repay. It compounds and poisons your body from the inside. The science of sleep debt. Studies show that adults need between 7 to 9 hours of sleep. Waking up at 5 a.m. means you need to fall asleep by 9 or 10 p.m., something most working adults and parents simply can't do. So they cut their sleep short, night after night. The result? A slow, quiet breakdown of mental and physical health. Lack of sleep leads to cognitive decline, reduced memory, decision-making ability, and slower reaction times. Weakened immunity, you become more prone to illness, chronic inflammation, and long-term diseases. Increased risk of mental health disorders, anxiety, depression, and even hallucinations can emerge from prolonged sleep deprivation. Every morning, your body naturally increases cortisol levels to wake you up. But when you force your body to rise before it's ready, especially in darkness, you disrupt this delicate rhythm. What does spiking cortisol too early do to your body? Artificially waking up at 5 a.m. can spike cortisol too soon, throwing off your endocrine system. Prolonged cortisol elevation leads to fat accumulation, especially around the abdomen, making weight loss more difficult. Blood sugar instability, increasing the risk of diabetes and metabolic disorders. Chronic inflammation, a silent killer linked to heart disease, cancer, and autoimmune conditions. Mood instability, leading to anxiety, irritability, and burnout. This hormonal imbalance doesn't just affect your mornings, it follows you throughout the entire day, creating a cycle of stress and exhaustion. Waking up early demands going to sleep early. That means saying no to dinner with friends, skipping family events, avoiding late-night conversations. Slowly, your social connections fray. Early rising equals early isolation. People who wake up at 5 a.m. often find themselves out of sync with society. This disconnection can lead to loneliness, a proven factor in early mortality, equivalent to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Depression, social isolation is one of the leading contributors to mental illness. Anhedonia, the inability to feel pleasure, making even hobbies and passions feel meaningless. The 5 a.m. lifestyle promises increased productivity. But what if that productivity is an illusion? Busyness isn't effectiveness. Most people feel proud of themselves for being up before the sun. They post about it. They flaunt it. But are they actually getting more done, or just doing more to feel busy? Studies show early risers often experience morning focus, followed by midday burnout, energy crashes, making the latter half of the day unproductive. Decision fatigue before noon, making impulsive or poor decisions due to cognitive overload. Lower creative output, creative work tends to peak later in the day for most people. If this video hit a nerve, it's not by accident. You're not broken. You're not lazy. You're just tired. And maybe, waking up at 5 a.m. isn't the cure. Maybe it's the curse. Subscribe to Wellness in the Shadows, where we explore the darker side of the habits we're told to love. Because in the shadows, we find the truth. Everyone has a biological clock, a chronotype. Some are morning larks. Others are night owls. Forcing yourself to operate against your natural rhythm is like swimming upstream every single day. Circadian misalignment. When night owls wake up at 5 a.m., their internal clocks are still in deep sleep mode. This causes a phenomenon known as social jet lag, living in a time zone that doesn't match your body, leading to chronic fatigue, feeling permanently jet-lagged. Hormonal imbalance, increased risk of obesity and metabolic disorders. Cognitive dysfunction, decreased problem-solving and creativity. Most people associate brain shrinkage with aging or disease. But what if I told you that waking up at 5 a.m., especially when sleep-deprived, could accelerate cognitive decline? Sleep and brain detoxification. Your brain undergoes crucial maintenance while you sleep. This process, called the glymphatic system, flushes out toxins that build up during the day. If you don't get enough deep sleep, these toxins, particularly beta-amyloid proteins, accumulate, increasing the risk of Alzheimer's and other neurodegenerative diseases. The evidence against sleep deprivation. Studies from neuroscientists at Harvard and Johns Hopkins show that prolonged sleep deprivation leads to shrinking gray matter, areas responsible for memory, decision-making, and emotional regulation deteriorate. Reduced synaptic plasticity, your brain loses its ability to adapt and learn. Increased risk of dementia. A 2021 study found that adults who consistently sleep less than 6 hours per night in midlife are 30% more likely to develop dementia later on. The false sense of alertness. Here's the sinister part: when you wake up early, your brain tricks you into feeling more alert. Your body releases stress hormones to compensate, masking the damage. You feel awake. But deep inside, neural pathways weaken. Over time, this leads to forgetfulness, names, dates, and tasks slip away more often. Brain fog, your thoughts feel slower, less sharp. Increased anxiety, your brain struggles to regulate emotions, making stress hit harder. And the worst part? You won't notice the damage until it's too late.